Game on, game on. Game on, game on.
The Greatest Game of All. Chapter 1. Game On.
The roar from the crowds was deafening, as Game On was passionately chanted in many different languages, reverberating from major world stadiums, prestigiously chosen to stage this amazing international gaming event. The converted gaming stadiums were fitted with incredible laser lighting shows and seated thousands of fans who could watch the competition broadcast on enormous high-definition video screens. Special dynamic sound headsets were issued to fans that could be tuned to the actual game effects, with a running commentary from their favorite commentator if required. Police and army security were everywhere, protecting the soundproof booths and preparation centers that housed the players of the various teams. They also took particular care in securing the expansive broadcast platforms, beaming live commentary across the globe. Cyberspace also lit up as hundreds of millions of fans logged into the gaming platforms that proudly announced the battle game for the control of humanity had begun. Television, internet, and stadium audiences had just been thrilled by the most amazing lineup of superstars who had performed simultaneously all over the globe, showcasing their talents to an estimated audience of 3 billion people. Entertainment managers had fought tooth and nail, paying big money above and under the table to have their stars appear in the opening ceremonies of the greatest game on Earth, and now they looked forward to reaping the enormous benefits from this incredible exposure. Emotions peak high as intermittent loud music blasts out of capacity-packed stadiums, inspiring the fans to cheer with excitement and groan with disappointment as the tense competition already begins to dash the hopes of some of their favorite teams from winning the largest prize money ever offered for a game on this planet. Excited commentators all around the globe talk frantically into their microphones, rapidly giving a breakdown of a selection of the final 512 teams, highlighting their strengths, weaknesses, and unique strategies that they have so far employed to reach this incredible stage in this global competition of competitions. After months of painstaking preparation, the finale of an amazing event that organizers, promoters, and sponsors proudly proclaimed as the greatest game on Earth was finally underway, and the stakes were extremely high. So high, in fact, that overall throughout the world, 83 contestants had mysteriously disappeared, 42 others were found murdered, and 93 others suffered horrific injuries from unexplained accidents in the lead-up to this final event. In addition to this, 37 gamers had also died from heart attacks brought on by the intense fear they experienced when playing this game that takes over your mind. Billions of people from around the world had been enthralled with the pre-final games. They were now filled with eager anticipation of this dynamic non-stop 72-hour scheduled entertainment event that offered an incredible total prize money pool of $250 million, with the winning team to take out the top prize of a staggering $100 million for their efforts. Amazingly, an additional $50 million had already been won by successful contestants during the past 3 months as they vied for a position to compete in the ultimate and final event. Reality TV still reigned as the #1 viewing preference of people from most countries, but no other TV show had come anywhere near to enjoying the astronomical ratings and popularity that the elimination rounds of this gaming show had attracted. Rumors were that the price of the exclusive televising rights for the finale of the greatest game on Earth was at least 20 times more expensive per minute than any other televised event in history. Such was the phenomenon and magnetism of this game. Huge international corporations proudly sponsored teams, providing their game stars with the leading edge in technical facilities to hone their mental and reactive skills, while endeavoring to protect them with the best 24-hour personal security that money could buy. Unfortunately, some security measures had failed dramatically, but the games continued on regardless, and in many ways, were bolstered by the publicity of yet another contestant tragedy. Publicity was further fueled by the surprising knowledge that the security technology built into this game had identified potential hackers and enabled them to be arrested before they could do any real damage. Evidently, though, their efforts would have been futile because the greatest game on Earth had been designed to adapt, change, and evolve continually. Audiences nevertheless had applauded enthusiastically when television news channels across the globe showed live footage of police storming numerous premises in different countries and forcefully apprehending the alleged game hackers. This had definitely become the game of the people, and no one was going to destroy it. Fans from all nationalities were passionate, excited and captivated by this major international gaming tournament, and now the finale was here at last, simultaneously playing in major cities across the globe and streaming live to fanatical followers throughout the world. Many would not sleep for 3 days and nights, as they followed the incredible challenges that faced their chosen warriors from the different teams of gamers. The high-tech, pay-as-you-use gaming internet platform had introduced another exciting dimension that was giving fans the ultimate and most exhilarating gaming experience, using the very latest enhanced viewer reality, where they can see, feel, and hear every choice, decision, and emotion through the eyes and minds of their favorite players. Many of these gamers were now seen as demigods, incredibly self-controlled, instinctively decisive, and intuitively tuned into their fellow team members' strategies as they battled the seemingly impossible to attain their ultimate goal of total world control. This ferocious battle to take control of our planet had captured the imagination of our world, making unknown gamers become famous overnight, their battle names on the lips of many such as Allegro, Game Changer, Mind Control, Fempower, Lotus, Annihilator, Zotin, Nuke, Power, and Scythe. So highly charged were the emotions of fans that many were obsessed that their favorite teams were the ones fighting for the good of humanity, though just as many supported the so-called evil ones, who had shown no mercy and were ruthless in their efforts on and off the playing zone. Event organizers encouraged and promoted this perceived moral divide, as they knew that this fueled human passion, and all the teams, regardless of which side of human nature they were deemed to represent, had enormous and fanatical followings. Such was the passion generated from the greatest game on Earth that many governments of different political ideologies had also sponsored teams, some secretly, some openly, to represent the power of their ideals and beliefs. Even more surprising was the representation of religious institutions and philosophies, who badged their teams in the emblems of their faith and prayed to their God to give them victory. This truly had become the battle for the minds of humanity. The never-ending battle of light versus dark, good versus evil, love versus hate was once again in play, stirring the emotions within people of all ages and races, as they pledged their allegiance and support to their chosen ones, to win control of our world. Famous commentator Cohen from CBS was incredibly excited and highly animated, as he broadcast the intricacies of the greatest game on Earth, while standing in front of a huge screen situated in a buzzing San Francisco stadium that was showing a current game being played.
I tell you folks, for those of you who don't know, this game is like no other. It is played within a time warp that projects gamers through space and time, arming them with the weaponry and knowledge of that period. Some of it known and some still being invented, as the game speeds through the various levels, leaving very little time to analyze the next move. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And as you are aware, many pro gamers have undergone mental and nervous breakdowns, trying to negotiate the intricacies of this unbelievable mind game, which many have called the La-La game, if you'll excuse the pun. So many facets of human emotions come into play, such as courage, fear, love, hate, and disappointment, and these emotions can either limit or expand their next selection of tools and weapons. All the gamers are intricately wired so that whatever emotion they are feeling will register on their console, which not only can be viewed by fans, but also felt by those plugged into the enhanced viewer reality. Isn't that absolutely amazing? It seems unbelievable that their emotions can be determined from their brain patterns, heart rates, and energy vibrations that are monitored by the game. Evidently, it is very accurate, because the players become so quickly and thoroughly immersed in the game that they see it as their only reality. Can you believe it? They actually forget it is a game, and from that moment on, they are truly experiencing life and death situations. There is no escaping from their emotional reactions, which ultimately help dictate their success or failure in the game. As many of you know, gamers have experienced heart attacks from pure terror, while others have literally knelt down on their knees and prayed for help from God.
Suddenly, he pointed excitedly to the big screen.
Look at the screen now and you will see what I mean. Allegro was unable to hide his fear, and now he is caught in a difficult and dangerous pathway dilemma. The moment he registered extreme fear, he automatically attracted a terrifying obstacle for his next challenge, and now he is fronted by faceless beings carrying missile launchers, who appear to be extremely threatening and dangerous. Allegro must be careful as looks can be deceiving. These beings could very well turn out to be friendly and essential to his progress. It is his perception and assessment of this obstacle that decides his next action. Which door does he take? Does he run, befriend, or destroy? What emotion should he be feeling in this situation? And this is where his registered followers come in. His decision on how he reacts to this event ultimately lies with them, because the screen is now brightly flashing pathway dilemma, which means they get the opportunity to vote. His decision is equivalent to only 40% of him taking his own preferred action, while the other 60% is decided by his followers, who are given one vote each per pathway dilemma. The majority rules, so if he receives at least another 11% agreement with his decision from his followers, his action will be played. But if more than 51% of them have agreed on another action, then that one will be played. Everyone has just 3 seconds to vote. Oh no, as you can see, the majority of his followers agreed with Allegro to run, but as soon as he started to, the ground opened up in front of him. And now he finds himself frantically screaming for help as he falls deeper and deeper into a black hole. It seems like he is falling forever. Will he ever stop? His legs and arms are flailing the black darkness in terror. He must control his fear before it is too late. All he has to do is remember that this is just a game, and he will stop himself from falling. Remember, Allegro, remember. Oh no, this is terrible. Look for yourself, how this is visibly affecting Allegro in his gaming hub. He is petrified because he believes that this is truly happening to him. He has to control his fear, and remember that he is only gaming. Oh, bad luck. He didn't recall in time, and now the screen has gone black. See that small white beam of light that keeps growing brighter and brighter? That is Allegro reincarnating, ready for the next game stage. Fortunately, he has 9 of his 10 reincarnations left before he is eliminated, and thankfully, after each death, he is immediately brought back to reality, that he is only playing a game. You wouldn't want to go back in there again, remembering that fall, would you? Even though he doesn't consciously remember what has happened in that first stage of the game, his subconscious does, and when similar situations arise in the future, it will play a major part in his decision-making, without him even being aware of its influence. This can be good and bad, so come on everybody, let's give him a huge round of applause as he prepares his mind to do battle once again. Don't forget, the key to winning this incredible game is to control your mind, stay focused, and continue to be consciously aware that this is, after all, just that, a game. So much easier said than done, folks, as we have just seen. It's time now to switch over to Aziza Donnelly, who will be meeting up with one of the teams in their preparation set. But I'll see you again shortly, with more insights on the mental challenges facing our fantastic gamers. How are things going, Aziza?
I'm loving it, Abe. And how fantastic have the opening ceremonies been for the Greatest Game on Earth finale? Promoters have been enthusiastically telling me that the response around the world has been far beyond their wildest expectations. The audience figures are staggeringly high, especially for the fans who have registered to actively participate in this amazing game to support their favorite teams. I will be meeting up with a crowd favorite, Team Galactic, shortly, but before I do, I must let everyone in on some hot news. I have been told that over 1 billion paid-up fans are registered to vote with their personal choices of action whenever their teams encounter a pathway dilemma. You heard right, 1 billion fans. Hopefully, they will be wise in their choices, but luckily, they do have the added advantage of not experiencing the full reality emotional impact of the game, like the gamers. Their decisions, however, will still be affected by how much they are caught up in the game. Their own confidence and self-beliefs will also come into play. How they react to situations will come from their own life experiences and programming, remembering also that they have to make up their minds extremely quickly, as they only have just 3 seconds to vote. Wow, there's a lot riding on their votes, and not just for their team. On average, out of the many hundreds of choices a team will encounter, there are approximately 40 game dilemmas each game. Each fan's vote is recorded along with the speed of just how fast they entered it, which is accurately timed to the microsecond. All that information is then collated and analyzed by a very complex computer program to find the person who, through their choices, would have achieved the highest game level in the fastest time. That lucky fan will receive as a prize, and get ready for this, a whole whopping $1 million, you heard right, a life-changing $1 million. This incredible payout is possible because fans are paying $10 to be an interactive fan member of their team, and for that they get to be actively engaged in a gripping game of fantastic entertainment that lasts for around 2 hours or more, and then as an additional bonus, have a fantastic chance of winning $1 million. Just look at the paid-up fan numbers that are registered, and then do your maths, and you will easily see how they can afford to give out such enormous payouts. Not only that, but fans can register and pay for as many games as they want during the finale. So as you can see, the money will keep rolling in. But get this, by the end of these 72 hours, the greatest game on Earth will have created 1,022 new millionaires around the world, purely from team fans who have chosen to be active participants in these games. That amounts to over $1 billion in payouts. It gets even better for those winners, because if their teams were also successful in winning the game, their prize money is increased by another $250,000. Imagine that, $1,250,000 deposited directly into your bank account within hours of the game being completed. I just love this game, and I love the courage and skill of the gamers. Talking of which, I am just entering the preparation center of Team Galactic, a hot favorite to take out the competition, and not forgetting the $100 million prize money. Already, they have won $2,400,000 in the lead up to this finale, and they are definitely very focused and naturally very keen to add a lot more to their winnings. As we can see, their center is luxuriously appointed with relaxation, tranquility, and fitness in mind. It is quite dark in here, except for the coloring on the walls that keep changing to the different hues of a rainbow made possible by automated mood lighting. This magically changes the perception of room spaciousness, moving from large to small intermittently, which keeps the team continually conscious and aware of their surroundings. How do I know this? And the answer is simple. I did my homework.
Aziza then spotted the team, who had been patiently waiting for her, because as always, she was running late. Her keen eye now took the time to check them out individually, to spot if there was any stress or identifiable issues that may exist between them that could be good for a story. She first looked at Zoltan, who had the small, lean, elegant stature of a man born in Burma, blessed with a very youthful face, deep penetrating eyes and longish raven black hair, which he had grown mainly as his form of rebellion against the rigidity of the regime he had left when he was very young. He graduated in England at a very young age as a navigator in the Merchant Navy, and sailed the 7 seas until eventually settling in Australia to follow his other passions of recording music, teaching, and computer technology. He was a handsome, 26-year-old gamer who looked 15 years old at times, but his gaze showed a man who had already experienced more than most people do in a lifetime. Highly intelligent, keenly focused, and with a wicked sense of humor, he had fast become a favorite gamer for many people all around the world. His ability to control his emotions and react with speed lightning made him a much sought-after gamer. The sponsors of Team Galactic, Dada Music International, convinced Zoltan, otherwise affectionately known as Sonny, to move to San Francisco and join their team. Since then, he has been an outstanding player, showing incredible control and finesse during the past 3 months to help his team reach the finale. Her gaze then settled on 22-year-old Fempower, an amazing and beautiful-looking woman who was dressed in her all-in-one silver gaming suit. She was 6 feet tall, lean, athletic, blonde with a short Mia Farrow-style haircut that looked stunning around her sculptured face. Born and raised in San Francisco, Fempower was a passionate feminist, hence the gaming name she had chosen for herself. She had lost both her parents in a plane crash when she was young and was then raised by her bra-burning grandma and hippie granddad, who enjoyed their lives as if they were still living in the flower power time of the 60s and 70s. It was because of her upbringing by these two peace-loving believers in freedom and equality for all that she carried a torch of incredible self-confidence brightly within herself. Zoe, best known as Fempower, was a fantastic gamer, highly intelligent with a great sense of humor and compassion for others. She was loved and respected by women all over the world, and whenever her song I Am Fempower was blasted out of the speakers, you knew that Fempower was about to hit the game stage because this was her theme song. Aziza then focused on Lotus, who was exactly that, a beautiful flower that opened the minds of others with a wisdom that appeared to have been acquired over thousands of years. She was an old soul living in a 25-year-old body that was dressed today in an exquisite, richly adorned red silk dress that touched the ground and made her look like she was floating through air as she moved around. Her self-discipline, born of endless years of practicing Tai Chi, made her formidable as a gamer. Named by her proud parents, Chunhua, meaning spring flowers, Lotus brought balance and harmony to the team. They all believed that a huge amount of their success was due to her teaching them Tai Chi, bright and early each morning, which helped them focus and center their minds as one. As far as they were all concerned, Lotus could do no wrong, and she was a very much loved member of the team. As Aziza's eyes zoomed in on Game Changer, she noticed the team were about to stand up, so she quickly spoke into her microphone, while facing the camera.
I am so excited, as I am just about to sit down with this very popular team on their very plush and extremely comfortable circular white leather lounge, which is surrounding what I must say is an eye-catching and fascinating hexagonal glass table that keeps transforming into glorious colors. Oh my, it's beautiful, and even better still, it's loaded with fruit, nuts, and my absolute favorite snack bars. You guys must have known I was coming. How are you all going?
We are fine, Aziza.
Laughed Zoltan,
And if you're hungry, there's plenty more food over there.
as he pointed to a gleaming stainless steel fridge freezer and drink dispenser tucked away in a corner. The team all chuckled as Aziza replied humorously,
I was only joking, but I guess it must be difficult for you guys to have an appetite when you have this much pressure and stress in your lives.
Fempower, Lotus, and Zoltan then turned and looked affectionately at Game Changer, who stared back at them guiltily.
Come on, guys.
He said in his booming deep West Indian voice.
You have to eat or you die. I just happen to like food. It makes me concentrate.
They all laughed as he pretended to be offended, but nothing could ever offend 24-year-old Game Changer, born in Jamaica and aptly named at birth by his African mother, Amani, meaning peace. His hide was as thick as a rhino's and his heart as big as one. People loved this 6 feet 4 inches mountain of a man, with his straggly dreadlocks and beaming white smile that lit up a room. He was wearing an iridescent pink shirt, white trousers, and white shoes, yet still managed to look like someone you definitely wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. But in actual truth, he was a gentle giant. The team loved and respected him because he remained strong and positive throughout all the challenges that they had faced together, and on top of that, he was one hell of a gamer. As he would often say,
I not only got the moves on the dance floor, man, but I got all the moves in the game.
Fempower decided to say something after seeing Game Changer was still looking a little embarrassed, possibly because of the cameras that had zoomed in on him.
We are only kidding, Game Changer, but you've got to admit you eat more than the three of us put together.
Game Changer was about to respond to Fempower, but was interrupted by the very petite, graceful, and delicate-looking Lotus, born in Beijing and a game favorite of millions of Chinese fans.
It is written, Game Changer, that man who eats well, lives well.
Those are my thoughts.
Said Game Changer as he passed her a grateful look for her support. Everyone was laughing, including their very much revered interviewer Aziza, who at just 29 years old, was already famous for her flippant and zany remarks on live TV. She was highly regarded in the television industry as a tenacious and very professional journalist who could sniff out a great story before anyone knew it existed. Aziza was extremely attractive, with a cheeky I am forever smiling face, with dark curly auburn hair that seemed to magnify her bubbly don't care what I'm going to say next personality. She had cut her teeth in the media as a very successful young shock jockey at a New York radio station, and was soon snapped up by CBS.
Thanks for having me here, guys, to show everyone your preparation center. And in all honesty, it looks like a nightclub, massage parlor, meditation center, gym, and NASA all rolled into one.
Hey, careful what you say.
Chuckled Fempower.
You might give us all a bad name.
There's no chance of that.
Replied Aziza.
Everybody loves you all, but I was just hoping there might be a bit of romance or any morsel of gossip that I could share with the world. Don't forget, sex, drugs, and rock and roll is still a big interest story even in this day and age.
We should be so lucky. They all cheerfully replied in unison, which immediately confirmed to Aziza just how well this team knew each other and how tight-knit they had become.
On a more serious note then,
Aziza said,
let's have a look at the NASA-style high-tech part of your preparation room. I can see holding pride of place are 4 vibrantly colored, into-the-future-looking gaming hubs, which I am told are soundproofed and have built-in consoles, monitor screens, game helmets, controller sticks, and I presume the kitchen sink thrown in. It is evident that you practice in your own hubs, so tell me, is it true that they are exact replicas of the gaming hubs used in the actual game?
You have got that right, except for the kitchen sink,
replied Zotten humorously.
It is essential to practice in the real thing, but our practice games are not exactly the same as the competition games, but they do have very similar aspects.
He then gently guided Aziza by her arm to FemPower's bright red gaming hub to explain how it all works.
If you take a look at this built-in electronic chair, it has been designed not just for our comfort but to also keep us alert. We have fingertip control to mold it around our body, legs, and arms, in any position imaginable, and it can also be raised or lowered at a whim. Not only that, but these chairs contain the latest cyclical massage pads delivering the very best blood circulation possible, throughout the body and especially to the brain. Mental alertness is a key to this game.
Wow, I can see that no expense has been spared for you guys,
said Aziza excitedly.
You have no idea,
replied FemPower as she climbed into the gaming booth chair.
If you look at the screen beside you, I will close the hatch and the inbuilt cameras will show you what it looks like for us inside when we are playing.
FemPower pushed the button and a large oval-shaped, spaceship-looking titanium hatch door quietly rotated from around the side, hovered in position, and then slid forward effortlessly to latch securely into the opening of the gaming hub. Aziza then looked at the screen and was amazed at how the interior took on the appearance of a supersonic jet cockpit flying late at night. There were game control screens and different colored controller lights, illuminating the darkness like a small city of lights.
Can you hear me, FemPower?
She asked.
I hope so, because you look amazing. It looks so different, as I have only ever seen the interior of hubs when the gamers have their helmets on during a game, which at times, I must admit, can appear rather eerie because things are moving so fast. I hope you don't mind me saying, by the way, that you look very beautiful in there.
Of course not,
beamed FemPower.
I can hear you loud and clear. The monitor you are viewing has a built-in microphone, which is how equipment testers can communicate with us. I believe that Game Changer is now going to explain about the technology of our special suits.
I sure am,
said Game Changer as he carried his own suit over to Aziza so that she could have a closer look.
Each gamer wears a special suit like this that is badged with their sponsor's emblem, and as you can see, Data Music International is the company that supports our team.
Everyone laughed as Zotten shouted.
Good to see you plugged our sponsor.
Game Changer gave his classic big wide grin and then continued on as if nothing had interrupted him.
Each suit is fitted with electronic equipment to measure our heart rates and temperature, which are continually monitored and recorded. As you can see, there are cable connection inlets on the outside skin of our suits and sensitive monitoring pads on the inside.
He then dutifully gave his suit to Aziza to examine and carried on speaking.
To prepare for a game, optic fiber cables are plugged into our suits, and we then have to carefully fit our game helmets on that are intricately connected to a computer, constantly measuring our brain waves. Would you like to show us how that is done, FemPower?
Absolutely,
she replied. They all turned to watch the monitor again as she proceeded to plug in various cables to her suit and ensure the monitoring pads were properly stuck to her skin, which was possible because she wore no clothing from her waist up and only underwear below. This was essential to enable that all aspects of monitoring were completely accurate. Once finished, she reached for her gaming helmet that was stored away in a secure dust and magnetic-free compartment. FemPower pulled it out towards herself, while ensuring the wires attached to the top of it were moving freely in all directions through the ceiling channel of the hub. As soon as it was directly above her, she carefully placed it down over her head, face, and eyes. She then firmly secured it in place with tension strap locks, designed to stop the gaming helmet from being dislodged, regardless of any body actions, including violent head shaking. Lotus then continued with her explanation.
Once we are satisfied that our helmet is fitting properly, it is then tested to ensure that we are receiving absolute reality reception of the multidimensional game vision that is being projected, and most importantly the highest quality of the multi-frequency surround sound. These are essential to make us become so absorbed that we quickly believe that the visions we see in the game are our reality. Tests are completed externally to ensure that the monitoring of our heart rates, body temperature, and brain waves are operating correctly, and most importantly, that the biofeedback imaging system that intricately measures the intensity of our energy waves being emitted from us are functioning properly.
These special sensors are located in our game stick controllers and have been designed to measure the electromagnetic fields from our hands, which are then sent to a specially programmed camera that transforms those energy readings into vibrational levels that represent various mood colors. In my culture, we call these colors that surround every living organism an aura, and there are many people in our world who have studied the disciplines of Tai Chi, yoga, and meditation who can see them without the need of a camera.
This is absolutely fascinating,
said Aziza excitedly.
I have heard about auras, but I didn't really believe that they truly existed. So, first up, can you see them and what are their significance?
Lotus thought about it for a moment before answering, because she knew that Aziza was genuinely interested.
Well,
she replied,
in answer to your first question, yes, I can see auras, and as to your second, the colors of our aura reflect our state of mind, body, and inner being. So as an example, let's find out how Fempower is feeling at this moment.
She pushed a button and an image of Fempower, surrounded by an array of colors, filled the monitor screen. Lotus explains.
A double exposure has been taken, and the colors collected from the sensors are then superimposed over her image. She is relaxed with no stress at the moment because her first layer color is indigo, which indicates that she is a leader and very intuitive.
The second layer is magenta, which describes her perfectly as innovative, strong-willed, and a nonconformist, and her third layer is blue, giving her the attributes we love about her, total loyalty and honesty. When we become stressed, our energy vibrations change rapidly, and this is how the game analyzes which emotion we are feeling in any given situation.
I bet my viewers are loving this,
Aziza exclaimed.
You guys are unbelievable, and it must take incredible courage to play this game, considering the amount of physical and mental damage it has inflicted on so many gamers during the past 3 months.
Game Changer was quick to say,
we have learned to live with it, and it is very important to have a strong bonded team such as ours to support each other. But do you know what is the most difficult thing for us to overcome?
No, please tell us,
said Aziza. Game Changer once again released his smile that could warm 1,000 hearts and replied,
it's when we get to review our emotional reactions that we experienced during the game. Thankfully, we never get to see the actual intense, life-threatening challenges we faced and their consequences, but we do get to see how we reacted to them. There are 8 strategically placed infrared cameras fitted inside our gaming hubs that record our actions from all different panning angles when we experience emotions such as jubilation, disappointment, celebration, terror, excitement, love, fear, and passion, and these are then broadcast to the world. Can you imagine how embarrassing that can be? Man, I tell you, there were times I shook so hard that even the king of rock and roll from the last century, Elvis Presley, would have been proud.
Everyone erupted into fits of laughter, because as he was giving this explanation, his hands and legs were going everywhere, and for the final climax, he started to shake vigorously and gyrate from his toes to the top of his head, as he spoke of Elvis Presley. Fempower was letting herself out of her gaming hub at this time, only to be greeted by her team, Aziza, and the camera crew laughing with wild abandonment, tears streaming down their eyes, desperately trying to control themselves.
Did I miss something?
She said, and that was it, because they all started breaking up uncontrollably once again. Aziza eventually composed herself to some degree of control, even though her voice was slightly pitched higher than normal, as she said,
I really love you guys, but did you know that out of the remaining 512 teams, you are the only team left that has 2 males and 2 females in your lineup? The majority are all male teams, with only 73 teams having just 1 female as a member.
You will be totally surprised at this then,
remarked Fempower with an indignant attitude.
Out of the whole competition, which consisted of thousands of teams, we were the only team that had an equal balance of gender. Can you believe it?
That is incredible, and I must say it is a great story in itself. But were there any all-girl or 3 girls and 1 boy teams?
Asked Aziza.
Not one,
replied Fempower with a defiant look in her eyes.
This game is definitely a male-dominated one.
Why is that?
Asked the perplexed Aziza, and it was then the Lotus Flower of Wisdom replied.
When gaming first started, Boys were the ones who were attracted to it, because predominantly, they were adrenaline rush games, of being challenged to win in competitive sports games. They loved feeling that buzz from high-speed car racing as they tried to avoid horrific pile-ups and then experiencing the rush of battle through the next stage of realistic games that were released. These games were of violence and war, killing and being killed, where you could be empowered with weapons of mass destruction. Girls have been conditioned throughout time except in the very early ages of our history, that this was not part of their nature and therefore had little or no interest in these games. It is only now that they are coming to realize that they can play these games as well as if not even better than any boys, but it will take some time before they will achieve the skill levels required to play at our level.
Well said.
Cried Fempower out loud and enthusiastically.
You have such an understanding and wisdom that is beautiful, Lotus.
I should have a good knowledge of this,
replied Lotus passionately.
My culture and many others around the world are still male-dominated, that continually restrict women from enjoying the fullness and greatest potential of their lives. Little do governments know that true power is when you combine a man and woman together with equality and respect, such as we have done with our team.
You could see that the rest of the team were visibly moved by her words, and as if on cue rushed over to her, which very quickly ended up as a huge group hug, acknowledging just how much they truly cared for each other. They were then interrupted by Aziza, who had tears in her eyes as she pleaded with a tiny voice.
Can we join in?
And they warmly welcomed her and the film crew with open arms. This was how the interview with Team Galactic ended, as Aziza and her crew packed up their equipment and left feeling quite emotional after hugging all members of the team. Zotin, dressed in his purple team t-shirt, hanging loose and low on the outside of his white cargo pants, said,
I think we should all get some rest before our competition this afternoon. But before we do, I would just like to say, I love you guys.
We love you too, they all replied once again in that uncanny unison that they had so quickly developed between themselves. And then Lotus whispered quietly,
Of course, we love each other. Our team is love.